Hi, I'm Ned, and I've started streaming. This is a recording from my live stream over on twitch.tv/NedMakesGames. I'm live most Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. US Eastern Time. I'd love to see you there.
All right. Hey, everybody. Hope you've all had a good day so far. I guess it's pretty early, so not much of a day to have yet. Well, unless you're not in the US, but anyway. Hope you've all had a great time since the last stream. But yeah, so today we're gonna keep on working on our hot potato, hot bomb type game. And so last time we mostly did this little model and texture of this little gopher. And basically I wanted to do something simple so that I could make multiple different characters by just switching out the textures. And coming back to it today, I think I'm still pretty happy with it. I would like to add like a normal map so that the cheeks and stuff have a little bit of definition. But yeah, I don't know if we'll have time to do that, but we'll see. Because it also does add more work that you have to do for each model, or each player. But so today I want to work mostly on animations and see if we can finish that up. So basically what I have to do, well, there's actually something I forgot on stream last time. I want to be able to animate the face by offsetting the UVs of the face area, which I don't have room on the model to do that, the UVs. So I need to like cut out this top third and like have multiple different faces here. So yeah, we're gonna have to rearrange the UVs because there's not enough room. But that won't be that big of a deal because I just made the texture in Inkscape, and since it's a vector, yeah, vector drawing, I can pretty easily just scoot things over. So I guess we'll do that. And then we'll make a shader. So what I'm going to do is we'll use the vertex colors to kind of encode information about which vertices should have their UVs offset. So we'll do that by, I don't know, coloring these faces red in vertex colors. I know previously I said I was going to use vertex colors for outlines, which we still might, but this new art style doesn't really need, like, because we don't really encode any of this information or any of the shape information in the vertices. It's all in the texture, so we couldn't really use vertex colors for that anyway. But yeah, so let's I think we'll do that first, and then the next thing I want to do is make some procedural animations for when the characters catch a potato, so the hands will, I guess when they see a potato moving close to them, the hands will move up to try and catch it, and then they'll also do the same thing when one is being thrown. And we'll just see how that looks. All right. Okay, so let's see, probably. Yeah, I gotta decide like how big I want the area that I can edit with or do the UV offsetting to be. On our actual texture, yeah, the face is actually pretty small. We might want to make it bigger now that I think about it. But okay, so let's do, I don't know, the top, like a little less than half. So we'll... So this area here. So basically, well, okay, we want that line to fall right here. Which right now I think it's actually more like right here. So we can maybe move, if we make the face bigger and then move the belly down, I think that might be okay. All right, so let's move this stuff out of the way. The ears and the hands. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is, yeah, we want to just kind of be able to offset the face. So maybe we need to have different face textures up here, like that. Let's see. So yeah, let's go ahead and just mark a seam here. But you don't want these, so... Okay. And then let's just move them up here. Oh, I kind of like, I'm not sure exactly how many I'll need, but I think 8, we should be able to get by with that. Okay, now this is the back. Probably don't even really need as much details on the back, so I'll scale. Oops. Yeah, it'd be nice if I could okay, so basically what I need to do is I need to make sure that each of these can fit in this little grid, so that way I can have 8 face UVs. Okay, so yeah, we'll just say this whole part will be taken up with faces. Then we can have, gosh, I keep doing that. I wish that it would deselect what I already had. Oh, it's because I have this additive version on, so it's my own fault. So I could scale up the bottom half of the body if I wanted. And then we can fit the hands and the ears right here. And we'll still have a little bit of room left if we had other details like the tail, if I decide to add that ever in this area right here. I mean, probably this bottom half doesn't really need to be quite so detailed, to be honest. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, we could pack the UV a little better, but this thing isn't really super, you know, high detailed. Yeah, if anything, I'd want this face area to have a bit more detail, but Okay, well, let's try this. I was thinking, I mean, we could take these faces and plop them back here. Which would allow me to increase the texture resolution of the face, but then we'd only be able to work with this area. Which would be kind of more like right. Actually, that'd be kind of like how it is now, but I want to try this to see how it looks if because I'm afraid, because the characters, they're not really going to be zoomed in. Ooh. Oh yeah, so the UVs are on my stuff now. But we're not going to be zoomed in very far. So if the face only takes up this area, it probably will be zoomed out even more. I want you to be able to actually see the changes, so. Okay, so let's export this. Okay, and I should update here. Oh, yeah, well it did, but only export what I had selected. Okay, so let's not worry about smoothness right now. Right, and then we can just cut off the top. Okay, one thing I want to do is let's make a template for the faces, because in Blender I don't think I can get this UV layout to tile. So we'll just make it ourselves here in Inkscape. Actually, wait, I think you can, yeah, set up a grid here. Okay, so how big? So it's 1024 divided by 4 is 256. Okay, so yeah, now we have a face in each of these. Yeah, of course, we need the background here, background color, which I guess I can actually just do over this whole area. Okay. All right, so just for testing, let's go ahead and just add colored squares, or even better, maybe numbers. Okay, and all right, so now I should be back. Okay, so the bigger face does look a little funny. Oh, and again, I have the guide still open. Oh yeah, also now the smoothness map doesn't match, so do I have a white texture? No. Okay, we can just use this neutral gray. Okay, so I mean, the bigger one's fine. It doesn't look, I don't know, there's something about it that's not quite as cute. But I guess if I wanted to get back to how it was, all I'd have to do. Okay, let's put this on a different layer. All I'd have to do is just shrink this a little bit. Oh, I keep on pressing the blender hotkeys. Okay, yeah, that looks fine. Okay, all right, so now we need to make a texture, or not texture, shader to change this face, or offset the UVs for the face. But first I need to add vertex colors to these faces. Okay, let's see if I can remember how to do that. Vertex paint. Okay, no. I guess we'll just paint it red. But where is... Okay, there. So that way we can always use the green and blue channels for outlines or something if we decide to do that. Okay, there we go. Okay, no, I think the vertex colors for the whole thing is maybe white, so... I wonder if there's like a flood fill option. Okay, well, we can see. I think I already made a vertex color shader, so if I just plop that on there. Okay, yeah, so the body is white. We want this to be black, actually, so we can see. Let's see. If there's like a flood fill, that would be better. Blender, vertex, paint. Okay, Shift K. I kind of remember. I think we looked this up last time. Okay, but now I need to select everything. Hi, Doom Group. Good to see you again today. Had some bad experiences with vertex painting. Luckily, we don't have to do too much. Alright, Shift K. Okay, well, everything's red. I want it to all be black. And then we'll go back into here and just select this area. And change this back to red. Okay, and so now I need to also do the same thing for the other meshes. Except I need to make sure that they're black. Okay, so let's go back into Unity, make sure that that all took. Shouldn't it be simpler than Blender makes it? Well, I don't have a whole lot of experience with it, but yeah, a lot of the, I mean, don't get me wrong, Blender is great, but especially in the UI department, it could be much simpler. Okay, let's just make sure everything is okay. So it did not take on the hand, and the fingers are still white. So let's go back. Okay, so it's in edit mode. Oh, yeah, I think it needs to be in object mode because it didn't switch the selection. Okay, no, it did work. Now go back into object mode, select the palm. Paint mode. Okay, there we go. All right, so yeah, so now everything is black except for our area that we want to mask to switch UVs. So let's put it back onto the gopher material. Okay, so let's make. Okay, so we have the standard tune. I think I'll just duplicate it and make let's just call it the character tune. All right, so what I need to do here is just, instead of just feeding the UV into all these lookups, I need to calculate or offset the UVs if the vertex color is red. So let's see. So this will be the offset, or what do I want to call it? I guess UV animation offset, which would be 1/4, but okay, now how do I want to actually like tell the shader or the material what animation to play. We could just put it as a property in the material, but then they wouldn't be able to be instanced. But maybe that's okay because each character is going to have its own material anyway. So I think that'll be fine. So I guess this will just be the animation index, or maybe we should call it like the frame because it's not really. Yeah. Okay, and since this will be changed in script, we should set the reference. And then last but not least, we need like the number of frames in a row. Okay, so we have this. So the column is frame index modulo this, and then the row is frame index divided by this. I'll have to do integer math. Or emulate it anyway. So we can just feed this through floor. Okay, and yeah, so everything's not magenta because we're dividing by 0. Let's just set some default properties here. Well, this UV offset, I think, isn't this just this divided by, okay, let's just leave it separate in case, I don't know, might need to change it. You're surprised to find in the 2021.2 beta, it looks like all property references start out logically named. Oh wow, that's actually a really nice change. I didn't notice that. Yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff in the 2021.2 beta. Especially like custom interpolators I've been wanting for a long time. But and then also you can finally use depth normals with unlit shader graphs, so you can do screen space ambient occlusion finally with toon shaders. And there's a couple other cool things. Yeah, definitely. Oops. Okay, so it does have modulo. I wonder, I guess we can just take the floor of this as well. I'm not sure how it works. Okay, so now what I need to do is, okay, so we only want to apply this offset if the vertex color is red, so we'll just split this. Okay, and let's compose this into a vector 2. And then multiply this by the red component. So now effectively the offset will always be 0 unless the vertex color red component is 1. And then we need to multiply this by the frame offset size. Okay, and then finally we can just add this to the normal UV. Okay, and now feed this into all these texture lookups, and I think that's good to go. Okay, yeah, this graph is getting a bit unwieldy. Leave that there. Okay, so maybe before we go any farther, let's just route this into the color field and test it. Okay, so the gopher, let's switch this over to the character. Tune shader graph. All right. And yeah, now it's showing UVs. So basically what should happen is when I change this. Okay, well okay, this is messed up. Yeah, the number of frames in a row should be 4, and then this should be 0.25. Okay. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, you can see that the color is changing and the rest of the body is not, so hopefully it's doing what I want it to. Yeah, I think it'll actually be easier to test if I turn back on the actual textures. Okay, so everything looks fine. Okay, so that is not right. Okay, I think what's wrong. Okay. Yeah, because I forgot UV start from the bottom and move up. So what was happening, I think, is that it was cycling up like this. So it went here and then like that. And then number 3 was 5. And then it did switch over. But yeah, so let's see. I think I got some of the stuff confused here. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so first of all, yeah, so divide and floor. This is the row. So yeah, this should actually be the Y component. So yeah, I had these flipped. And then I also need, okay, so if I want this, do I just need to do, I think I just need to do a minus or, yeah, a subtract from 1 right here. Or I guess it would be subtract from the number of frames in a row. Because I want it to start at the top and go, or yeah, start at the top and go down. So basically I need this to export. So if the number of frames in the row is 4, I need it to go 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so okay. Okay, well, I think this actually works fine, but this variable name is not the best because right now we're actually using it as the number of frames in a column. Okay, that's kind of messy, but let's make sure, let's see if this works now. Okay, so 0. Okay, looks like it. Okay, yeah, and then if you keep going, it's nonsensical, but that's... Okay. So the math is right. Okay. I mean, really, this and this offset could be the same variable. So maybe I should just change this to be the frame, number of frames. And then we'll just assume that a frame is square. Yeah, success. Let's see. How do I want to... Okay, well, I guess the number of frames... Yeah, we'll just assume it's a square, so the number of frames in a row is the same as a column. And in that case, we don't really need this separate UV offset, so we can just... divide it by 1, or take the reciprocal. Take those. Technically, it was probably faster how it was before, but yeah, I don't want to optimize before it's needed. All right. Okay, so there, we're done with that. So now, yeah, I'll want to be able to add little emotes here whenever the character catches a ball or gets a hot potato or whatever. Okay, so now what I want to do is work on some procedural animation so that when the character catches a ball or when a ball starts flowing towards or flying towards the character, we'll want the hands to go up and catch it. And then same thing when the player decides to throw a ball. Okay, and so far in the game code, I've been trying to support having multiple balls. Which I kind of still want to do, but I'm not sure. I guess when we animate that, the balls would kind of like stack on top of each other or something. I don't know. Well, but I think for now, just to get this game done, like as the base Mario Party mode, we'll just go ahead and only worry about one ball. Okay, so let's switch back to the game. Okay, so let's get some of our little gophers here instead of the capsules. Okay. Save my work in case get a crash or something. All right. Been a little while since I did this, so I'm trying to remember. Oop, it took a while to load. What's the class that actually spawns the player characters? I don't see one. I guess nothing does because they already exist. Yeah, so they have a hold anchor and then a target indicator. Okay, so we'll want to make something that will create the graphics. All right. let's see. Character. Okay. So I guess this will just create the character prefabs or instantiate them. Yeah, really, at some point, my Visual Studio, I lost the mono behavior template, so I need to go and fix that. Okay, so right now, when we start the game, yeah, it just assumes that they're already set up. Do I even have like a game? Okay, so the game restarter. Okay, so it just loads the scene again. Which I guess is a fine way to do it. Yeah, because I guess when the game started or restarts, we probably have like a fade out transition anyway in the final game. So what this will do is basically just at the start of the game, it will create the character prefabs based on data that's passed in. Now, do I don't think I have like a class that gives me excuse me, gives me information about like the settings for the game. Okay, well that's good to have. It's an empty class. Clean that up. Okay, now where does this live? Okay, I think it's just its own object. Okay. Yeah, so I don't think I have anything for this yet. So let's go ahead and create it. Okay, so I guess the state will like just be the so I guess when I'm just to keep things straight in my head, when I say game, I mean like the actual like hot potato scene. So the state will be things that change during gameplay, whereas settings will be something that's changed like in outside menus like character selection or graphics preferences or something like that. Okay, so technically we could put the input settings in there. Might be good because this will probably be passed in from a different scene. I guess it doesn't really matter. We already have a lot of stuff. This hooks up to get the specific object, so yeah, it's fine. So yeah, this will have game settings, which we don't have created yet. Okay, so this would be stuff like the number of players, like the game mode, but let's not worry about that yet. And then we also want to have a public class player settings. And this would have like the character ID. Okay, so I guess we want one other thing besides settings. So yeah, because we need to have like an asset database. Okay, you could get really complicated with asset databases, but I don't want to do something too crazy. Be a scriptable object so we can create it as an asset, and then we'll just at some point load it. I guess we could just put it in the settings manager. Actually no, I don't like that. Let's just have public class asset database link, and this will be a mono behavior that will just load the asset database. Okay, so here okay, this can just be a normal class. So what I need here, okay, well, all characters are going to have the same model, but this specific character will have its own material. Oh no. That's wrong too. Okay, so this is another thing. Do I want the index of the characters in this database to be how the game refers to them? I think that's probably okay, but I just need to make sure that I keep this index constant. So if I'm going to do that, then this is actually the character index and not a character ID. Okay. So this will be passed in from some other scene with all the stuff set up. And then this asset database link on awake, it will load the asset database. Let's call it asset. Or wait, really, it doesn't have to load it. We can just have this already in the scene with the link. That'll be fine. I'm sorry if you can hear that. Somebody's decided to do yard work. Yeah, my dog doesn't appreciate it. Okay, why is it not loading? Oh, because yeah, so this asset database link needs to be the same as the file. Okay, well, let's do that. Make a new file for it. Okay, and then we can just here, I think Unity. I thought I finally made a way that you could just create a scriptable object. I thought that there for sure was a way to do it now. Used to you had to get a script to instantiate a scriptable object, but I thought that at some point Unity added it, but let me see. Unity create scriptable object. Yeah, so I know you can do it in code, but oh, okay. Yeah, I needed to add this create asset menu. Okay, that's what I forgot. Okay, and then in here we can just have one character for now. Okay, so go ahead and make the character prefab. Okay, so it's a little big for now, but we can shrink it. Okay, I don't need this. Okay, actually, yeah, depending on. I need to decide because some characters I don't want to have the little gopher ears. So I need to decide, do I want each character to be able to have its own prefab? That's probably just the easiest way to do it. Yeah, so we'll just, okay, so instead of having a material, I guess we still need to have an access to the material so that we can set the, actually, yeah, so each one's going to need to instantiate the material so that every character that's using it can have its own animation frame. So yeah, don't really need that. Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking, so if we need to be able to instantiate the material, because I don't think when they instantiate the mesh, it won't instantiate the material. So what I'll have to do is create a copy of it, and then the thing I'm worried about is I'm going to have to set the material on each mesh renderer. But I guess that's not that big of a deal. I'll just do like a find all components and children and set the material. Or yeah, we can handle it. Anyway, so yeah, now this is not just a specific character. This is the gopher. Okay, and it has the gopher body material. Okay, and then we'll want to make, let's just do right hand. That's actually its left. Okay, yeah, so the actual positions of these don't matter too much because we'll probably just end up positioning them programmatically. Okay, like for instance, I guess we'll need some kind of component that we can place on here. That'll be like, I don't know, a character model that we can get a reference to all the renderers that I need to set the material on. And then also a transform for the hands and also the fingers if we want animate them. Okay, so we need transform for the hands. Okay, this is fine. And the fingers. And then we also need a list of mesh renderers that using main material, and then I guess we'll just have a reference to the main material. And then whenever we create this object, we'll have to instantiate the material ourselves, but it's not a huge deal. Okay, so there's quite a bit actually. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because we've got the body, the ears, both of the palms, all the fingers. Okay, and then I guess I should put the left first, just because, you know, usually you do left to right, just to be... Okay, so let's put, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to want to be able to animate the fingers individually. If I do, I guess I can figure that out when the time comes, but... Wait, yeah, the scaling's all messed up. Actually, yeah, these should just be 0, and then we can scale the finger up. Okay, and let's put these, I don't know, 0.2. That looks pretty good. And then the middle one, I guess, should be slightly raised. Okay, so yeah, I know I just did a bunch of work on the other thing, but let's just copy this. All right. Okay, so now I can, it's a prefab, and place it into the asset database. Huh? Oh. Okay, we can actually make this slightly better, I think. Instead of doing a game object, I can just say that it has to be a character model. Which basically means it has to have a character model component on the root game object, which it does. What else will we need on here? I guess we'll want a name, so at the very least. Okay. Okay, so we also need like this hold indicator, which is basically where the bombs aim to be thrown towards. So I guess I need to add that to the gopher as well. Is it gonna make me do this? Okay, so just that looks fine. Okay. And I guess we'll want to put that into the character model script. And then it also has this target indicator. Alright, so this just shows like, I don't think this should be part of the character model actually, because it'll be the same for each character. And it kind of just shows like where the character wants to throw. So yeah, we'll probably want to put some arrow just so it's really easy to see, but then also the character can turn towards that direction. Okay, so the hold anchor. Alright, so now I think did I delete it? I thought I made a game initializer class. Oh, here. Yeah, it's just a character, but alright, so what this does is yeah, on the first frame it will just create the character models based off of the game settings. Yeah, and then like for this number of players and stuff, I need to be able to set this. Yeah, well, we'll have to have like a state initializer class to do that, but yeah, since I do this on start, well, when we first load in, there might be like a little flashing as things get created, but we'll want to have a smooth transition anyway, so that will probably hide it. So this will need the game. Oh, maybe it won't need anything like that because we could just handle it all in this function. Okay. And the game state. So I need to be able to set this hold anchor in the player state unless I want to change where this is stored. The thing is, it's used in some like game mechanics. Or is it? No, it's only used in other display classes, so I guess it just depends how I want to handle it. Usually I like to separate like the game logic code from the display code, but this game is small enough I don't know if it actually matters that much. I guess either way we're gonna need to get the state. Something about the state, so okay. So what I need to do is loop through the number of players and then instantiate a player character for them. Actually, oh no, I guess it's fine. I was gonna say like, is the number, because the thing is, if we have like a CPU player, then certain things, that's actually something I should probably take into account. Where was I? Okay, so we have the character index and then I guess the player. Let's see. Okay, so I'm trying to think. Because we have a couple different things here and I don't want the names to confuse me. So we have like the number of players that are on, like in the game. And this can include both like actual players and then AI players. We also have, and so each of them basically needs its own character and stuff. But the thing is, we also have these input action maps. And basically, they don't need, like AR players don't need an action map, and the player index here doesn't necessarily match the input setting that that player is using. So I'm trying to think. Also, the number of players here is like a copy of the in the settings, so I don't know. Mostly that's only used for targeting. And it might be better if we just delete this because the number of players is kind of more of a setting, not really the state, because it doesn't change. Okay, what about here? So in the player state, so all of this is the same if it's AI or player. The thing is, only the players have input. So probably this input stuff should... Okay, well actually wait. So yeah, the AI actually does have the input. It's just set differently. So yeah, I remember how I was going to do it now. Yeah, I have this player input manager. So basically I need to loop through here, and then if a player is an AI, then we don't do this, and some other class will handle setting the input. Okay. So the map should not necessarily be linked to the index here, I guess is what I'm trying to think of. Okay, so let's see. Okay. So while I'm remembering, I need to switch. So basically, I need to get the player settings as well. Okay, that's kind of confusing. Settings and state both start with S. Okay, so if player settings dot key type is input. And then the map is this. Okay. Yeah, and then let's get rid of this because that should be in the game state. So now the targeting manager is going to complain that the number of players doesn't exist. No, does this need the game for anything else? Oh yeah. Okay. So that's a little cleaned up. So now I need some class that will initialize the games, or basically all the state. Could just have the state classes initialize themselves, but that kind of goes against the data-oriented programming. Okay, so let's just make one class that will initialize everything. And we'll want it to run probably before anything else, so that I don't have to worry about the other classes dealing with like uninitialized information. Guess let's go ahead and add that in. Just to get rid of that error. Okay, so here I want the game the game initializer to run before everything else. Okay, so here we'll read the state manager. All right, so first, like right now, how I did this basically was just having the state. Oh, oh gosh. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we just had like some default things already set up, but now we want the script to do it for us. Let's make a couple of functions to handle it. So initialize game. So state dot complete state is in progress. Okay, that was pretty easy. And then we'll have void initial players. let's see. Do I want to do it like this? No, we can just go ahead and pass in like the player state. Yeah, this is how we'll do this. Okay, and then date players equals new list of players. Less than number of players. And this should also just be initialized player now. Okay, and then in here, date dot okay, so I guess we actually do need the index. Okay, so what else? This input is all false. Okay, so yeah, I didn't set targeting. I guess it's the character opposite them. And then this stuff will be handled by the class that handles display. So this game over defaults to false. And then holding bombs will be empty as well. But maybe I need to create that class. Okay, maybe. Okay, so I'm trying to decide because it's targeting the player index, not the position index. So I can't like do number of players minus this or something like that. Although I guess we do know that the position index is the same at this point. So maybe that's fine. Okay, so right now, like it's not always a given that the position is the same as the player ID, but right now we are setting it like that. So, but the reason I do that is because I'd like to develop this game a little bit more, and in that case, I think that maybe the players will be able to move positions a little bit, so just want to keep that open. Okay, so this would be the player index plus the number of players divided by 2, and then modulo the number of players. Okay, so let's just clear this. Okay, now what's the class that makes us enter game throw? This is bomb spawner probably. Yeah, so let's just find it can stay like this. Okay. All right. Sorry to do this, but I think I need a bio break, so I'll be right back. Type parameter. The type character asset database cannot be used as type parameter T. Yeah, this is one. Oh, I guess they don't have this version with a generic parameter. Oh yeah, they do right here. Okay. I think it's just getting confused by the syntax. Oh. Yeah, that was the problem. Okay. All right. Now I need to do the material shenanigans because unfortunately I don't. Well, I think if I create two players, they're gonna have different animation. Like they're gonna share the material. So even though I'm instantiating different, like, are two instances of the prefab, I think they're gonna have the same material. But I guess we can test that before I go nuclear. Yeah, so we'll make like an animation manager that I can set the like the frame that I want to display. Yeah, so we can do that later. I guess I just need to position the model. So yeah, we'll just put them in a circle. Okay, so this is like dependent on the actual scene, so I don't really have to worry about like putting the level center in like a settings class or something. I think I can just put it in this specific object. Should be fine. If something else needs to know this radius, then we can spin it off into a separate thing, but so vector 3, player ring center. So for position is the player ring center plus. Okay, well, I guess also, well, first we need to get the angle, which will be. Okay, again, we need the number of players. Okay, so what this does, so the player position is right here. So technically, if I want this position to be able to change, then I'll need to make this okay, yeah, I guess should I have another object that handles it? I guess this class could be whatever places the characters, although if I don't know, if I ever make something where the characters do change places, then they'll probably want to smoothly walk over there, so okay, let's not. God, this won't worry about it for now. We can always change it. So I guess we'll just assume that the state here has already been initialized with the player position. Okay, and then we just multiply this by 2 pi. No y change, obviously. Okay, so model.transform position equals this new position, and then only other thing I need to do is set the hold anchor to the model hold anchor. And I guess I need to store this model somewhere. So maybe the hold anchor. Let's leave it like that, actually. Just because technically the hold anchor, like a ton of things use this, though. I guess not that much. Okay, yeah, so I can just go inside the model. That way I don't have to set it separately. Okay, so then state.model equals model. And now we just need to loop through. Okay. Oh yes, now stuff's gonna complain because the hold anchor is now inside the model, but it's pretty easy to fix. Okay, so now I can delete these prefabs, and it should. Okay, well, yeah, I need to instantiate those new classes I made. So the game initializer, and then the character display initializer. Okay, the asset database set up. So the settings, close that for now. So this should be passed in from another class, but just a test. We can kind of do what we did before, where we just set everything up in the inspector. Okay, so they all have the character index 0 because they're all going to be the gopher. We don't have AI controlled right now, but so we'll just set them all to input and 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so hopefully everything should be working now. No. Okay, so what's wrong with this? Object not set to an instance. Oh, maybe the input hadn't been instantiated. I guess that's it. So in the state initializer, we just gotta create that. Okay, still more. So the target indicator. Oh, right. We've got to instantiate the target indicator because they weren't. They're not attached to the gopher. I just want to copy this off of it and create something new. There we go. Technically, this class could just do it. Serialize field. Although now it needs to know the position of each character. Actually, yeah, we don't even need to realize. I just realized we don't need to use the hold positions for that. Although. Okay, so we can instantiate these for each player. It's not that big of a deal. Although, yeah, I don't know where to place them. Well, okay, if we just use the model, then I can just place them as a child of the model. Okay, so if that's the case, I need to make sure this displayer runs after the model initializer. Okay, so now the character model has been created, so I could just do players p dot target indicator. Oh wait. And then I can set the local position to 0. Oh, that doesn't work. And then just in the players, we need to set this to indicator transform. Okay. And then another thing I noticed is this. Yeah, MathF likes radians, I think, or likes degrees because you can see all the characters were stacked on top of each other. So we just gotta do that. And also they need to all face the center. So we can just do quaternion look. So forward would be the negative position. Well, that's not quite right. So it'd be the negative offset from the center. And then up is this vector 3 up. Okay, so this should work. No. Okay, that was still getting errors. Variable. Oh, I didn't set the prefab. That's would be a problem. Okay. Okay, still getting an error. Position is not a number. Really? Oh, because I think they're all stacked on top of each other. Yeah, which is what I was gonna look at. Yeah, so why are they all like this? They're all in the exact same position. They're also reversed, which I think has to do with the way I modeled it backwards, but it's fine. Why, is it because, oh yeah, they're both integers, so it does integer division. So I just need to cast this to a float and it should work. Okay, well, not quite. Oh, well, I guess, yeah, so it's confusing. I never know whether, I think that, now that I think about it, I think these cosine and sine like radians, but everything else likes degrees. It's kind of confusing. There we go. Yeah, so it works so far. Oh, what happened there? It's like the global illumination disappeared. Let's see, does that happen again? Oh yeah, it's because the scene got reloaded, but why does the global illumination not? Sometimes I've noticed, I don't know why, but like the intensity is weird. Like if you set it exactly 1, it sometimes looks different than if you, it's like sometimes the baking doesn't work correctly. But it's not a huge deal because we don't really have anything set up right now. Okay, so right now it's really hard to test because of the input, so I think it might be a good idea, since we kind of have a framework set up for AIs now, if I just make a really simple AI controller, which probably will be kind of how the final thing goes. I think it's just going to choose like a random player. Okay, so first of all, okay, so I guess this still works. Well, this is fine, but what I might want to do is just let AIs set this targeting player themselves, which I think would still work fine. Everything would get updated. That way I don't have to worry about pressing all these, having the AI press these buttons specifically. Okay, so we're gonna wanna have like, a state for the AI, which will basically just have like a timer before it throws. I don't need to do something. I'm just gonna wait. It'll just have a specific timer, and then when the timer's up, it'll choose who to target. The final AI probably will want to do a little bit more just to make it seem like it's thinking about who to target and do like fake outs and stuff like that. But I won't do that right now. Let's not use fate state though. Let's use phase. Okay, and then in the games, not game state, the state manager, we'll just want to add an a list of AI. Okay, and obviously these only need to be created for the specific players that have an AI. So I guess what I should do here is just have player index. Okay. All right, and now the game initializer. So if settings.type is AI, then we need to create an AI brain, which I guess I can't do there. So let's make another class or structure for this, or method. That's not what I wanted. Okay, no, I might want to have like, AI difficulty settings and things like that. I don't think I'll worry about that right now. So if this is an AI, we need to create this and then initialize AI. Okay. So here, Okay, I'll probably need more stuff, but we can get started. Yeah, like I'll need the player states at the very least. Okay, so player equals player states, AI states. Let's not do that. Okay, so if player dot is game over is false, so if the player is still in the game. Okay, so win with this. So we'll just switch AI dot phase. Okay, so update in active. Okay, so what we need to do here is if the player grabs a ball, then it'll start a timer. Okay, so now we need to get the player. Yeah, so we'll actually need both this stuff again, but so if player holding bombs count is greater than 0, then the AI phase equals timer phase. And then we also need to set a timer. Let's just set it to a second. We can change that later. Okay, and then here, when the timer is out, oh. Okay, so AI timer minus equals time delta time if AI timer is less than or equal to 0. Then we'll need to choose. So let's see. Choose random target. Let's handle this. And then we'll set the input for throw button. I don't think that'll work actually. We could set it both to true, but just the triggered matters. Okay. Okay, so what I need to do here is I guess I need to have the actual player index. So this will be like int avoid player because we don't want to target ourselves. So the easiest way to do this is just construct a list. So yeah, we'll do that. Private void target list. Oh, not void actually. It's a list of integers. for int equals 0, p less than players. Okay, so if what's this of our player equals player states. So again, if the player is in the game and player dot I guess that's about it. Oh yeah, and p does not equal the avoid player. Then we can add it to the list. And then we'll just return choice equals target list. Okay, and then we need to clear the target list. And now we can return the choice. Okay, I think this is good. Again, it's really simple, but this way we won't have to worry about racing around trying to press all the input buttons. Okay, so AI manager. Okay, and then here I'll just set everything to AI. Okay, it's not working. Let's see here. Oh, the list, there's no AI. What happened? Settings, the type is all AI. Oh, I don't set. Okay. Okay, I think what's going on now is I don't set the phase back to inactive, so it's just choosing a new target every frame. Yeah, and also, if for some reason we stop holding a bomb because it exploded or something. So if player dot is game over or player dot holding bombs count is 0, then we'll go back to being inactive. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, so now we have some AI set up. That was actually pretty simple. Okay, so now I guess we can go back to working on presentation a bit. Okay, so what I want to do, I need to test that material thing. So let's make a class that will let me easily animate, or that'll handle switching the frames on the faces. So so let's see, character frame manager, and then the player state. Well, then just have an integer face frame index. Okay, let's change this to the face frame manager just so that the names match up. Oh yeah, this is a mono behavior. Okay, so what we could do, we could either have an event that says that the frame has changed, or we could just watch for changes ourselves. I think that second option will be easier. So let's just do, I'll just have a private int shown frames. Okay, so first we need to get the player state. Okay, and then void update. Oh yeah, I need to initialize the shown frames. So we'll just have one for each player state. And I guess we'll initialize them. Well, okay, well they're initialized to 0, but let's go ahead and initialize it to -1 so that it just runs the first time. Okay, so for int p equals 0. I keep on pressing O. If player dot face frame index does not equal the shown frames for this player, then we know that there's been a change. So first of all, let's just do refresh player. Okay, so player model dot main material, and then we want to set float. Technically, we could do an integer, but in the shader graph, it's handled as a float. So just to be efficient here, let's just use the integer. So this would be the frame shader property. Oh, that was right. Equal shader dot property to ID, and this is the What did I call it? Oh, it was frame index. So that, and then player dot face frame index, and yeah, that will convert it to a float. And then we'll set shown frames equals. Okay, so that's all I have to do here. And let's just see what happens. Okay, so what I think will happen is when I set player 1 to 1, yeah, they'll all change because they're all sharing the same material, which is what I thought would happen, but I kind of hoped wouldn't. Alright, so that means what I need to do is in the display initializer class, I need to duplicate the material. Okay, so var material equals instantiate state model main material, and then we'll do state model main material. So this makes a copy of the material. So now normally you don't really want to do this because it makes it so you can't do instancing, but in this case I think it will be fine because probably each character will have its own material anyway. Which I guess if that's the case, then do I really need to do this? Because if every character has its own material, then yeah, I guess I would just have to enforce so there's no duplicate characters. But we'll just leave this in for now. We can always change it in case there is a duplicate character or something. So I don't have to do an if. So we just go for each renderer in state model. Renderer is using the main material. Okay. So I'm gonna see. I'm always a little confused about the shared material. If this might just make it work how it was before, but I'm curious. Okay, no, it didn't. So I want to make sure. Let's pause it. I want to make sure that still, at least this character is instanced together in one draw call. So frame debugger. Okay, yeah, so there's 4 draw calls, yeah, 1 for each. Oh wait. It seems like it's able to instance the characters together anyway. Yeah, the frame debugger doesn't really work very well in URP. It should not show you stuff that's not drawn by this point. So you kind of have to look and see what's going on. So this one is drawing the lit shader. I'm not sure specifically what is being drawn here, but it's not our toon character. Then here it's our toon character. And then we're doing another lit shader. Okay, and then another toon character. Okay, so why? Okay, well, it's batching some of them. I don't know why it's not batching all of them together because it puts some of the toon shaders. I assume that these, maybe it has to do with sorting or something. I don't know. We can, but I guess the thing I wanted to make sure was that by doing this, I wasn't like making it so there had to be one draw call for each finger or something. So it's okay. All right. So are we ready to try to animate the character touching the bomb? Okay, let's see here. So it'd probably be better if I kind of decouple this from the rest of the game logic, and that way, and then I can kind of just hook into it. Because what I'd like to do is if I just give the system pretty much any game object, and I'd like the hands to kind of couple around it. Then I won't, yeah, so then I can just like give the system or tell it to animate the hands trying to catch the bomb when it comes by, and I don't have to worry about like how the bomb gets positioned. Okay, so let's make a separate scene. Okay, save it as animation grab test. Okay, so let's put our gopher. Okay, so what I want to do, like I said, we'll have game object. Some object here. And then yeah, if we bring it, so as it comes closer, the hand should come in to grab it, and then when it gets to a certain distance, the hands will touch it. And then I should be able to move it around anywhere, and the hands will still stay grabbed onto it, so that way the bomb can move around like when it's trying to decide who to throw. And then when the bomb moves away, I might not even need to change the animation because the animation to catch it might be similar enough to the animation to throw it. That'll be fine. But if not, I can always just have like two different states, like a catch and a throw state that I can interpolate between. I guess the catch, maybe the hands would be farther apart, and then throw, they'd be closer together. I don't know. We can see how that would work. Okay, so I'll just make like a hand animator class. Let's see. Because I guess there might be other. I don't know. I probably should just have one class that just handles all hand animations, and that way, like if I have other modes, it can also just interpolate. Okay, and right now I'm also just not going to worry about the fingers. Okay, and then I guess this should be serialized. Okay, I'm kind of taking like a shader approach to this. It'll probably just, like, there won't really be much state. I think just everything will be handled based on the input. I think that will be the easiest way to do it. So we'll just have a transform for the target, and then we'll have like a target radius. And yeah, well, we only have to grab spherical objects, so that's nice. Okay, and then we'll have, I don't know, like start. Okay, well, let's not worry about this. Let's just right now try to get the hands to position themselves to catch this target at the radius. And then we can try and do fancy things like an idle position, and then when it gets close enough, the hands will start to move to catch it. I guess it doesn't really matter, but start. Okay, so first thing we need to do is find the direction from, I guess, yeah, we need like a center. So we need the direction from the center anchor and the target, and then the hands can kind of like rotate towards that. I guess no, the center anchor, it can just be this transform. That's fine. Okay, so, and yeah, because I like to use the mathematics thing, we'll just do that. So difference equals, so we want to get the point from the center to the target. So target dot position minus this position, and then 3 target direction is the normalized version of the difference. Okay, so now we can rotate this object. Okay, just realized something. We'll have to see how that works, but rotate this object to always face towards this direction. Okay, let's try that. So transform dot rotation. We can use quaternion location. So forward would be the target rotation, our target direction, and then, well, I'm not sure. This should be okay. It depends. Some implementations like up to always be perpendicular to the forward. Some it doesn't matter as much. Okay, so here. Okay, so we have this hold anchor. Should it just be, like, should the arms and everything be attached to it? Well, no, because this is like the anchor that yeah, this is different because this is where the ball is going to try to go towards. So the hands need to just not care about that. Okay, so I guess I need to make another game object. Okay, if you're going to make me do this, it's fine. For some reason, what have I done? There we go. in this mode it doesn't. I'm used to it like automatically highlighting this to name it, but for some reason it doesn't do that in prefab mode. So let's put the right and the left hands under here. And I want the other Y positions to be 0. Okay, and then I can attach. Oh, it's the weird scale thing again. Okay. Oh, well, I ended up not attaching the script, but that's fine. So okay, yeah, and I need to make sure that if the target is null, then we just don't track towards anything. Null, then okay. So at this point, we would lerp to the idle animation, but we don't do anything with that yet. Okay, yeah, so they did rotate. Oh, it's backwards. Okay, well, that's not that hard to change. But yeah, they do at least rotate to face the sphere, which is kind of cool. Now, okay, actually, I was curious what would happen if it gets too high up, because technically the up vector is up, but it seems like the game is still kind of able to understand what's going on. If I set this to something like that, okay, so it gets confused if you put it directly above, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, so also, okay, so this is pointing from, wait, so this is supposed to be pointing from my direction to the target. So let me do, I just want to make sure. It could just be because the model is backwards. Okay, so if I put this directly ahead and then just set this to 0. Or just ignore the Y. Okay, well, it's not normalized, but yeah, so I should have actually. So yeah, it's telling me to go in the negative Z direction, which is correct. You can look up here. So I guess, yeah, I think that the model is backwards, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal just to do this. Just make sure it still matches. Oh, yeah. Okay, so far so good. Let's go ahead and place that there so I don't have to keep doing it every time we play. So now what should happen? Okay. So now, yeah, based on the distance, they should move, or the hand should move from this like ready position out in front to catch the ball. So I guess I kind of need to have like a radius. Like a radius for the body where they move inwards. Or they could just like interpolate. Although I guess the position here actually has to do with the radius of the ball. Yeah, because interpolate. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about the math here, how I want it to look. Because basically what they need to do is move into a certain position. And then the radius, and then I guess we use the radius of the sphere to calculate the rotation of the hands when they touch it. Okay, so one thing I'm trying to think about. How I want to deal with different sizes. All right, let's see here. Okay, let's make. I guess first we should do an idle animation and then, or an idle position for the hands where they're just kind of downward, and then this upward position when it's starting to catch. And then, yeah, and then we can move them forward when the ball gets close. And then I'll worry about rotating the palms to actually touch the surface of the ball. And then we'll need to also do push mode, and in that mode, the palms stay attached to the ball a little longer. Yeah, because in catch mode, they basically just move in front and catch it. But in push mode, they would, yeah, they have to push the ball away. Okay. So public float. Okay, so this we can use to interpolate between the ready, like the catch stance, and then an idle stance. And then the catch stance changes depending on how far the ball is from the target. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to see is like also we kind of have to worry about the rotation of the gopher body. Okay, so this is fine because well, that doesn't look good actually because the ears. So if I rotate the whole thing, okay, so I'm trying to see if there's any. I guess since this updates every frame, the hands still work correctly. This is, yeah, the rotation of the hamster body will change like the idle position. And so I guess it depends how I want to do it. Do I want to rotate this entire character thing, including the hands? Or the hand animator, which it seems to not really matter. Or I could make another object that just rotates the body. I don't know. But probably not super important. I guess it would just change, like the hand animator would check the rotation of its parent, or it would check the rotation of the body. That seems, for some reason, cleaner to me. Okay, yeah, so I need to be careful because now, yeah, it messed up the scale again, but. Okay, so now the hand animator will have access to the body. Okay, so let's make float 3. Oh wait, so I guess a complete like animation state would be the hand rotation, like the rotation for the entire like hand apparatus, then the rotation for the individual hands, and then also position. So let's see. I guess it should be a quaternion. Okay, so then the left hand rotation, right hand rotation, and then left and right position. And again, I'm not gonna worry about the fingers yet. Okay, and then we need to be able to interpolate. I think you can lerp. Quaternions, hopefully. No. Oh, I think it's, yeah, it's called slurp because it's spherical interpolation. Yeah. Okay, so now this will be get idle animation, and then we'll have another one, private orientation, get ready animation, and then we'll have another one that will be get like catch. Oh, I guess this is animation. This is orientation. Well, let's stop there because we might be able to get like a catch orientation and or interpolate, but I don't need to get too far ahead of myself. Okay, so this stuff goes in here. So if the target is null, then we let's see. We actually need another function for this. So if the target is null, then we just return idle animation. Otherwise, we need to interpolate. Okay, so up here. Okay, and now you can say transform dot. I might want to position, yeah, actually total position. So yeah, I can move the hands up and down. So position equals orient. Total position, I guess this is local. And then transform rotation. Yeah, I don't want this one to be local, so. Okay. There we go. And so the idle orientation. Okay, so I don't set this right here. So this is O dot total rotation, and everything else is just 0. Actually, I wonder, quaternions probably don't initialize to the identity. So let's see. Really? Oh, I probably just have to do it like this. How do I have to like pass something? Okay, well. That's probably a better way to do this. Identity. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of just messing with semantics here, but did I spell it wrong? Oh, I don't need the new keyword anymore. Okay, and okay, well, that's fine. Whatever. Okay. Now I need to do. Let's just try this. Let's just return orientation, identity, and see if this works so far. Huh. Okay, so now it's complaining even though Visual Studio told me to do this. Well, that's fine. Okay, so now it says set everything to 0, but then when I bring this up, oh, okay, so the positions don't update correctly. Well, it's not that I don't update, it's that the positions have been set to 0 and we don't set them back. So I guess here is where we would need to get like the body radius. Yeah, so O dot. Trying to think. I guess the ready height. No, there'd be like some. Let's. Okay, I'm gonna have. There's gonna be a lot of properties here, so let's clean this up a little bit. Settings would be things like the body radius and the ready height. And then and these are like things that have to do with the actual like catching, and then we'll have interpolators, which interpolate between the different types of animation. Okay. All right. So the total position equals new 0, ready height 0, and then left position okay, so I guess oh no, I don't have to do anything more complicated. I was thinking I'd have to do like quaternion multiplication, but the left rotation and stuff is what's it called? It's local. So this is just like we have the body radius, so 3, 0. Oh yeah, actually. And then the right position would be just positive radius. Okay. Oh, first, before we do that, let's set. So I think the body radius is 1.5 right now, and the height is 2.36. Oh my gosh. Okay, so right now, yeah, that's stuck underneath them because right now the interpolator is set to 0. But yes, I bring it up. It does interpolate to the ready position, and if I move this around, you can see it rotates back to like an idle position. Is there some way that I can get Unity to do a slider? That would be kind of nice. Let's see. Unity editor slider attribute. Okay, yeah. I thought there might have been. Because that way, I mean, I could, of course, write a custom editor for this, but if I don't have to, that would be nice. Oh, yeah, I don't need this debug log. Okay, so let's make a nice idle animation. Let's see. Let's change this to the ready dot radius and ready dot height, and then I'll just copy this, and we'll have idle radius and idle height. I mean, I could just kind of hard code this stuff in, but okay. So what I want to do here. So rotation, I want to be the same as the body. So O dot total rotation equals body dot rotation, and then okay, let's try this. I think I kind of, let's see. I'm just gonna hard code this in because I want to see, but I kind of want it to like rotate the hands kind of outward just to show that they're more relaxed. So Euler, this would be around the Z. So let's do math pi divided by, I don't know, 12. I guess this should be negative probably. Let's see how that looks. Oh. Okay, well I rotated the wrong orientation. Or the wrong direction. Besides that, it looks pretty good. And then, yeah, when you move this, it goes up, and I can move the sphere around. And yeah, interpolate, and then that goes to an idle position. And if I rotate the body, yeah, then that the hands follow the body rotation. So probably what would happen in the game is the hands will stay in the idle mode until the ball, like somebody targets the player, and then maybe they would put their hands up towards the player that's targeting them. And then, okay, so now we need to do the part where the hands move in front of the character to catch the ball when it's close to them. Okay, so this will be the radius, like in between which we'll interpolate between like the ready animation and the catch animation. Thanks, Steph. Yeah, I think it's turning out pretty well. It's fun to do this kind of animation. I've never, well, not never, but I haven't done a whole lot of it. And so I like how it reacts so smoothly to the position of the ball. I think it'll be really cool when we get everything done. Okay. So we have the ready animation. Now what I need to do is to yeah, thank you, Steph. Let's see. So I guess this is a catch animation. Yeah, so it's just the yeah, the hands just move. I'm moving my own hands, you can't see, but they just move in front of the character to stop the ball. Okay, so I guess we need to get so this stuff we actually need in this part of the function. Okay, so float distance equals math length difference, and then I can get the direction just by taking the difference divided by the distance. That way we can cut off one square root. So now I need to do like an inverse interpolation between this. Okay, so orientation, catching equals lerp, get ready orientation, and then get catch orientation, and then this be the catch interpolator, but we need to calculate that. Equals math unlerp. So unlerp basically finds the position or the percentage that one value lies in between two others. So yeah, this. And what's that? Oh, yeah. So distance. Okay, and I guess so we don't have to calculate this again. Let's just pass in the target direction. Okay, so now yeah, we interpolate this. And I kind of want I also want this interpolator to like as the ball gets closer, the hands will quickly move in. So what we can do, let's see, I don't have it here. There's a nice like library of different easing code, and by easing, it's just like smooth step where you like blend between two values smoothly. Let's see. Don't have it. I don't have it in this project already, so let me go find some place where I do. I think it was in. I think I used it in my foliage stuff I'm working on. Yeah. It's all licensed under MIT. But yeah, so here's a GitHub link if anybody's interested in using it, but it has all different kinds of easing functions here. I think we'll just use a quadratic and see how that looks. And I'm not gonna worry about the easing for the ready interpolator because whatever sets this interpolation will handle that itself. So okay, so I don't do anything here. So kind of all I have to do is just make it so let's see. Yeah, so I was gonna say I don't really need to do the height for the catch because, but this class it would need to, in order to know the velocity of the catching object, which it would have to know in order to like be able to tell where the thing will land. So we might have to put in a height. I don't know. We'll see. For now, I think I'll just set the height to the height of the target. Anyway, what I was trying to do is this catch. Okay, so total position, and then I also need to move, do the catch forward. Oh yeah, and so the height is actually the target position dot z or y. Okay, I think this. Let's see how it looks. So we'll start, say, 3 meters away and end at 1 meter away. Let's just turn this up so I don't have to deal with it. And okay, so and then move. I don't know, half. Okay, well they're moving. So the forward is supposed to go forward, but the thing is, it's inverted. Because we had to do the opposite of the view direction. Also, yeah, and the left and right hand are opposite. I'm trying to think, what's the best way to solve this? I don't really like. Yeah, so it's just because we have the target direction. But a lot of them, like everything is backwards, I think, because the way I did the models. Oh, even, okay, it goes backwards even when I do that. So maybe that wasn't the issue. Oh, well, I guess, okay, so positive z direction, I guess, would go away from it. Anyway, so yeah, it's supposed to come out. Huh. Oh, I think I know what the issue is. It's because it's setting it to the worldwide position, but the orientation uses local position. So in order to do that, I just need to convert. Oh, wait, also. Yeah, if I change my own position, that also changes this math. Okay, let's see. How do I... So I'd like to be able to change, like... I guess what I should just do is just not this class... Well, I guess it could still be there. It's just this part we need to judge the distance by some static. So let's just say center of... I don't know. I guess we'll just have a center anchor. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do it in the Gopher prefab. So this will be, I don't know, catch center. I mean, it's kind of the same as the hold. I guess it's not quite the same as the hold anchor. Because it'll just be kind of inside the character at about shoulder height. Bit scale messed up again. Didn't matter this time, but... Okay, so that's fine. Now it can set its own position and stuff. But yeah, that doesn't change. Transform. Oop. Okay, so target, position, and local space. Okay, still some weird stuff going on, but it's kind of working. We can see. I don't know why it moving. Oh. Okay, well that's happening, I think, because the inverse interpolator, I don't like clamp the value before I send the unlarp value into the easing. Okay, so math, saturate. Saturate just clamps it between 0 and 1. Yeah, because what we want to happen is if it's outside of the range, it should just some strange stuff going on. I don't know. I'm gonna have to work on the math some more. but at least it's kind of reacting to the distance. I want it to be like out forward. I don't know why it's moving down. Let's see, if I change this to 0, I guess I can just, okay, so this actually does move it forward. So I guess that's good. I don't know, like, what's causing it to, okay, I don't like that this changes. I think it's that inverse transform point is just not doing what I want. Probably because I'm transforming it and then immediately setting a new position based on that value. So it kind of like gets a feedback loop. But anyway, we can work on that more. I've got to go. Oh, it's already been 4 hours. We got a lot done today. Did the face frames. Got some better initialization code. A bit more of the framework. Yeah, so I think once we get this animation done, that's like pretty much the main graphical thing I have to do. I guess I still have to make the level art, but I don't know. We can make that really simple. I'd like to do some more in-depth stuff, but I don't know how much time I'll have. Because since it is a gopher, kind of needs some grass. But we'll see about that. Yeah, because I kind of wanted to finish this game in the week. But I kind of like the idea of it, so we might spend more time making it pretty when I have more time later. But yeah, we'll see about that. But thanks everybody for coming by. I'll be back tomorrow at the same time, 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll finish up some more on this game, probably more animations. Hi Skylar, yeah, thanks for coming by. And yeah, we'll continue from there. If you enjoyed this stream, I'll put some links in chat, so if you'd like to follow me anywhere else. But yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow, and have a great day. Bye-bye.